My policies and all that. Just throws every ball she has at you.
Misty, the world famous beauty is your host. Are you ready, sweetie? I'm gonna eat your face off.
This is not at all what I expected. She only has 2. I just can't help it. It's like that.
At least in the anime, she had Starmie and Goldeen at this point.
Yes.
Spoons used the Thunder Wave. And yeah, this was normally before, like, you see me how I train stuff. I'll stick like the lowest level thing out front to get experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because then you swap it right out.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't doing that. Like I could have put Sable out front, but I wanted Marijuana to get like as many levels as possible.
Yeah. In the few times I've actually played much Pokemon, I've done the same thing, because, especially with weak stuff, if you want to level it up, you don't have many other chances, because it gets its butt kicked.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, most of the time, like, people watching this are not seeing me play my best. Because most of the time, like, along the road above Cerulean City, where I was before, in the last episode, just level building and fighting trainers, pretty much as soon as any Pokemon hits, like, below half health, I'll be like, okay, I'm running back to the Pokemon Center and I'm healing and I'm doing it again, but that makes for really lousy-ass watching. You already had to watch it twice. So, normally, I don't play that way. I don't, like, not normally playing the way I'm playing here, where I'll use potions instead of walking back to a place. Because I just find it's inconvenient, but it's cheap.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, now I'm actually playing in a way that hopefully won't bore the fuck out of people. And it's actually taking me a bit of adjustment, because I look at, in my bag, and I'm like, oh god, I've only got 4 potions left. And I have to, both conserve them and use them, so I'm not, like, running back to the town and going to have to buy more more potions anyway. So.
Hate it when I need to buy more.
I know, they're so expensive these days.
Yeah, speaking of expensive, I just bought a new laptop today.
Yay!
I haven't got it yet because I ordered it online, but my old one is kind of half falling apart.
Almost literally.
Yeah, and, well, my new one was on sale. It was like almost $300 off, and it has 12 gigs of RAM. So that made me pretty happy.
Seriously.
So we're kind of hoping that, well, it should handle a lot of the Steam games that we have now.
Oh,
so we should be able to record some of those.
Yes.
And, well, the Skyrim Special Edition, the remastered thing, or whatever. Oh, hooray!
I can't believe you beat me. Alright, you can have the Cascade Badge.
Cascade Badge! Wow.
Shut up and take my money! Cascade Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. That includes even outsiders. What's more, you can now use cut anytime, so you can cut a bitch. You can cut down small.
Why the hell would that give you cut?
What give me cut?
Well, she said that you could use cut anytime. Like, why would this battle give you cut?
It doesn't give me cut. I have to get the HM somewhere else. And then I could use it in battle anytime.
Yes, but
I can only, like, use it on the overworld map after I've gotten... It doesn't make sense in real-world mechanics, let's put it that way.
Okay, fine. That's all I needed to know.
Okay, got it. Anyway, continue your story.
Anyway, the, I can't remember, are they calling it remastered, or?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's supposed to be coming out at the end of October, and hopefully my new system will handle it, so it might be fun to do some Skyrim, too.
I really... Even if you can't do the Skyrim remastered, you should be able to do the regular version.
Yeah, well, I mean, the regular version, the new one, will more than meets the benchmark requirements, so I hope that the remastered isn't so much more insane that it won't meet it at all.
Yeah, and I mean, like...
But we can,
recording software to take
and
into account,
we can also do Morrowind and Oblivion, because I have those.
Oh, yes.
As well, because I bought them all when they were on that sale.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully we'll have a if you don't mind, using your laptop to record stuff like the PSX and PS2 games and whatnot, if that works, then,
yeah.
Your purchase might really help kick up this channel.
Yeah,
Miserable Rockets stole a TM for teaching Pokemon.
Anyway. I should have my new laptop in a couple of weeks. And the Skyrim remaster thing is supposed to be coming on October 28th, so we're thinking of having fun and actually setting like a date for starting a Skyrim thing.
I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun too. And if I can ever get Arena and Daggerfall to work right, I totally want to play those.
That would be cool.
Because I haven't actually played them, and that makes me sad, because I'm kind of Elder Scrolls obsessed.
You really are. You're about as obsessed with the Elder Scrolls as I am about Pokemon. So it's only fair that you get to play some of your favorite games on this, if I get to play some of mine, and I'm fighting a rocket. It looks like a Machop, but it got caught in Bill's transporter too, so it's actually a rocket. That's a human.
Okay.
I'm lying.
Sure. Yeah, as we were talking last time about my obsession with watching anime, and we've mentioned before, I think, my obsession with playing Skyrim, so yeah, it'll be fine. So I'll make a specific character and we'll have fun with it.
I think it'll be a lot of fun to play through that stuff.
Absolutely.
Very fun.
I mean, it'll involve a lot of cutting things too, but...
Oh yeah, undoubtedly, but... You know, we'll make it work.
We'll figure out how we want to do it, but we think it'll be fun, so... And hopefully soon there'll be some more games that are a little more recent.
Yes, like, you know, late 90s recent.
Woo!
Woo! I mean, this one's technically kind of, you know, late 90s as well, technically, but it's also on, like, the Game Boy Color, so it's still not exactly... It's not even as visually impressive as Final Fantasy VII, and people think that looks so horribly outdated that it's barely worth playing.
Wow.
I'm like, really? You'll play 16-bit indie games, which, I mean, not to say anything against 16-bit games or indie games, because some of them are really awesome, but people have no problem, like, playing those for hours on end, but the crazy polygon graphics of FF7, that looks so ancient, I'm not even gonna bother with it.
That, and people having that reaction, I don't talk to a lot of people. So, just people having that reaction, I guess I understand it, but I'm sitting here thinking about when I first saw the trailers for Final Fantasy VII on TV, my mouth literally fell open.
And I mean, you played Final Fantasy games before.
Yeah.
That was my first.
I've been playing them since the first one that we had here.
Yeah.
And, you know, Final Fantasy 2/4 is, like, my favorite game ever. Except for possibly Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game of that style. My favorite RPG of that style.
Yeah.
But, like, I just remember seeing it and my mouth falling open and watching my brother play it, because he was the one who got his hands on it first.
Yeah.
And just seeing some of the cutscenes, which you look back at them now...
They look ancient.
They're like, they kind of did an anime-style thing, which was sort of cool, but they don't look real at all. But just seeing them, I was like...
Their eyes are pasted on, yay.
Oh my god.
Thinking about those commercials...
You can see what they look like.
Thinking about those commercials, all I can hear in my head is, if you
fail, you can always hit the reset button. Yeah. That was like my favorite thing for a while, because I was so excited about seeing that and that game, and I was like, you can see what they look like!
Little pixelated doo-woppies! Yeah, that... I got Final Fantasy VII with my first PlayStation, when my parents had bought it for me that Christmas, because that was basically when I got into video games. I played some video games before, but not really that much, because like I played Duck Hunt. I had a Genesis for a while. I had a TurboGrafx 16, which, you know, cool points to you, quote unquote cool points to you, if you even know what the fuck that is. You know, my parents got me a PlayStation and Final Fantasy VII because it was supposed to be a hot game, and no, I don't want to trade Cubone for a Machoke. No one's gonna choke my bones. Oh yeah, I went there. But you know, I didn't really have any like tastes in gaming at the time or anything like that. My parents just thought this is gonna be a popular game, so I get Final Fantasy VII. I've never played an RPG before, really. And it takes me a while to even really get around to that one. But when I finally play it, it's kind of at the insistence of one of my friends. And I start, like, really getting into it. So I want to play it for hours and hours and hours. And there's only one problem with this. My parents got me the system, they got me the game, I had the controller, I had no memory card. I could not save the game.
Uh-huh.
So I remember times of that friend coming over for, like, sleepovers on the weekend, where we would play until we practically fell asleep, turned the TV off, but left the PlayStation running, and, you know, like, grab, like, 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then wake up and start playing again, basically until we died, and we would always inevitably die in the same place. It was when you first get the tiny Bronco and you can end up in Wutai, and Yuffie steals all your materia. So at that point it's like, oh shit, I'm not a strong thing at all anymore, and I always died because I didn't know at the point that was an
You didn't have to do shit there.
Yeah, like, I do remember one of my proudest moments of that game, though, was playing through that years and years later and going there at that exact point thinking, I'm gonna master this, I'm not gonna wait until I'm over-leveled or any of that. Little did I know I was over-leveled at the time because I had so much materia on me that Yuffie couldn't steal it all.
That's hilarious.
It was beautiful. So I had, like, cure materias and everything. It was such an easy section after that point.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah,
it's beautiful.
You're magic.
I am a champion of FF7.
Yes, FF7 was more... I really enjoy FF7. I do love FF7. I've played it a number of times, but it is far more your game than mine.
Yeah. FF7 and FF10, I don't know why. There's something about those games that I can just spend hours doing everything.
I never got that into FF10, but... That would largely be because the main character doesn't really do anything for me.
Well, he's a piece of cardboard, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and I put this together because Final Fantasy XII I had a hard time getting into, and it's because the main character didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, sitting back watching it, the story can be neat, and I can still like some of the mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
But when your main character is just like, what?
Yeah.
It just kills the thing for me.
No, I mean, I've read some stuff over the years in regard to Tidus and FF10, and to some degree, like, there's an article I read a few months ago that I really do agree with, in that he is actually a really good takedown of toxic masculinity. Because with most of the, like, male protagonists of a Final Fantasy game up until that point, they're typically, like, stoic, quiet, not quite manly men, but they definitely embody some of the more stereotypical traits of masculinity without basically being a muscle man.
Okay.
Whereas Tidus, sorry, he's a young guy in a really weird situation where he's trying to get to grips with a whole bunch of really weird shit going on at a time and place he does not recognize. And he reacts emotionally to it, and that's something you don't actually see in a lot of male protagonists of Final Fantasy games before that.
I can see that, but he just doesn't feel real at all, like...
Shit. I'm poisoned. And I have to go back and...
There's not enough... to him. Like, I can kind of get that, but you can do it without them seeming two-dimensional, too.
You can. He definitely wasn't as two-dimensional as Vaughn. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that is true.
He's
now
got
that I've seen Vaughn, I'm kind of like, Final Fantasy X might be easier now.
Yeah, there's
And I mean, I've seen you play through most of it.
Yeah.
And I like the game, and I like the story, and it's neat. It's just, I could not get into that character at all.
Yeah. I love the story. I love the sphere grid level system.
To me, like, and it's funny because, like, there's a lot of other main characters that, I mean, like, Squall, I'm not really, like, crazy about him or anything, but I could at least get behind the, like, everything else more. I don't know why, he just didn't bother me as much. Right. I guess to me, it's like, Tidus is like if Selphie had been the main character of Final Fantasy VIII, and I would have been like, why?
And given that I don't really like Final Fantasy VIII, and it's a weird, convoluted mess to start with, I can't imagine that, but mostly because I don't really
okay,
shit about
fine, Final Fantasy VII, Yuffie. Imagine Yuffie was the main character.
The game would have been absolutely different, but yeah, I can definitely see
you know, it just the character didn't do much for me. No, I like Yuffie more now that you've seen more, because Final Fantasy VII has expanded so much.
Yeah. She was basically the stereotypical spunky girl child.
And she still is, but she kind of grows on you because you see more of the personality and more of the good parts of it.
Yeah.
Like, so you can actually see more of it. And I feel like with Tidus and Vaughn, you just see all the, like, I'm just a dumbass, instead of actually having the opportunity to see as much of that.
Yeah.
And so it just feels like they're lacking a dimension that, and it's not just that I expect my main characters to be the stoic males, it's just...
Yeah.
I need something to draw me in, and...
Yeah. And, like, there's one bit of FF10, and I'm gonna brace yourselves now, everyone, because I'm gonna talk some major fucking spoilers for this game. For Final Fantasy X, not Pokemon Yellow. Spoilers! But, you know, one bit that people really get annoyed about in FF10 is after it's revealed that, oh god, did you even get to that part? Do you mind spoilers? Because I don't remember.
See, that's what you're saying. You're like, spoilers almost sarcastically.
What happens when a summoner fights Sin?
Oh yes, you told me that, and we figured that out. You played that time. I was super sick, and all I could do was sit on the couch for like 3 days. You played through almost the entire game for me.
Okay.
And you'd been through a bunch of it before that, right. And you were in some place where you had to swim through most of it, and it was right towards the end, like because it was. Yeah. They'd even camped at the place where you see the sword when you have the game over. Right. Like you were almost at the end, so I know almost everything.
Okay. So yeah, the bit I was referring to is after you find out that, to defeat Sin, Yuna is basically going to die. And, you know, like, the Albed are basically like, they don't want this to happen, because it's kind of cruel, and it doesn't really do anything. But, there's this bit where one of them, you know, when Tidus is freaking out because, holy crap, the girl he's kind of got a thing for, who's been really kind to him through this whole game, and, like, actually invites him to be a part of her life. Holy shit, the whole point of this was to die, and she knew it from the beginning. He freaks out over that, and that's understandable, and people get pissed off when someone says, you know, you can't get everything you want. His reaction is, but I want everything! And, like, people will say that's, you know, a really bad line. It demonstrates how absolutely whiny he is, and I agreed with that at first, because it seemed kind of like it came out of nowhere, but to be perfectly honest, when you basically had your world turn on its head, and then you find out, oh yeah, this chick's gonna die, and she knew it all along, I think I'd have a bit of an emotional freak out, and go, you know, damn it, I want what I want, fuck off!
Part of the problem is that that's consistent with his character. He did it right at the very beginning when he had the dream about both Riku and Yuna, and he's like, I want everything!
Well, true, but let's also keep in mind, he's like 17.
I know, but my point, that still makes him a whiny brat.
Oh, it does, but in the way that all 17-year-olds are.
Not all whiny 17s are that. But anyway, point is, that is consistent with his character. That was not just because he was freaking out. He did that of far more minor things as well. Just as a point. And we're also, like, way past time, so.
Oh, shit, okay. Alright, well, next time we'll finish fighting this guy.
Alright, next time, bye.